It would be nice today if we could announce that we had an agreement for these 14 state senators to come back. But instead, we've got a letter from Senate Democratic leader Mark Miller, a letter that says, in part, I would ask that you or your authorized representatives agree to meet with us near the Wisconsin-Illinois border. We need to walk through why this letter is so ridiculous. And I think it's important because for the last several weeks, both Senator Fitzgerald and my administration have been reaching out to reasonable senators, many of whom are very interested and willing to come back to the state of Wisconsin. And time again, the person standing in the way of making that possible is Senator Mark Miller. If people talk about negotiate, we've been doing it for days. The problem is we have a handful of senators who are interested in doing this, but we have Senator Miller who time and time again allows his caucus to stand in the way of the progress coming forward. And now I think the public has finally seen in the past 24 hours firsthand the frustration that we have felt for days in the sense that they were misled by the statements that Senator Miller made last night to a national media outlet when he said that the Senate was going to come back, and now today is reversing course on that. I think that's indicative of the fact that now Senator Miller is misleading the public, just like he misled us, and just like apparently he seems to be misleading many members of his own caucus. For us to move forward, we need to have reasonable and responsible elected officials stand up and decide it is time to set aside those who would stand in the way. We have a path. We have a way home for at least some of those state senators so we can get a vote on this measure, and more importantly, we can move this state forward to get back to jobs, the economy, and our goal of creating 250,000 jobs over the next 4 years here in the state of Wisconsin. That's where we can work together on. That's where we've had success in working with many of these same Senate Democrats who've joined with Republicans here in the legislature to set a clear agenda that shows that we can get Wisconsin working again. But we've got to have leaders who are willing to stand up and stand in the way of those who are trying to block this from happening.